And we are getting set for semifinal action. Tim Hovland and Kent Steffes going up against Brent Frohoff and his partner Mike Dodd. Ready to go? Crowd is fairly nice. The sun has brought it out. We had rain showers earlier, and so a lot of the crowd left the beach and went home. They said spring break is over, but not true, Paul Sunderland.
Well, they said this is Florida and it's going to change every 5 minutes, but it looked like we were about to have a tornado 10 minutes ago, but looking better.
Jim Leonard is our first referee. Greg Krause is our umpire. 1 game to 15. The winner moves on and plays against, you guessed it, SS, Smith and Stoklos. Steffes, and Kent Steffes hits the ball out of bounds. For identification purposes, let's give it to you in the colors. Kent Steffes is wearing the aqua trunks. Tim Hovland is partner in orange, or red if you like. And on the monitor, Brent Frohoff, 12 career wins, 6'3", 185, 27 years old. Played a lot with karts last year. Won a number of tournaments with karts. He's wearing his, well, we'll call them orange and purple trunks. There's Brent and his partner, Mike Dodd, wearing green. So the red-clad Hovland puts the ball in play. No score. Check that. Dodd and Hovland, Dodd and Frohoff have won. Remember Mike Dodd, the longtime partner for 10 years of Tim Hovland. And Dodd will go back to serve.
They have not played against each other all that much since they split up after that long marriage. I think there's still a little something special when they get together. There you see Mike Dodd, 6'5", 195 out of San Diego State, and been playing very well for over a decade.
One of the great beach volleyball players of all time is Mike Dodd. You saw his open wins. Third, make that fourth on the all-time list. There's Mike Dodd, nicknamed Buckwheat when he was younger. And playing with Brent Frohoff. Dodd playing an unfamiliar side, playing the left as Steffes serves. And just misses the ace on the outside. So far, Paul, reporting honestly, this crowd has been dead.
Well, they're soaking wet. And that long finals of the winners bracket really took a lot out of them. And a lot of people, as you mentioned, left the beach, head for cover when the rain started coming down and the sky looking so dark. And it's going to take a little while and a little more sunshine. These folks will get back into it, particularly when the finals roll around.
Tim Hovland, he won the last tournament of the year, the Hard Rock Cafe Challenge. That was at Tees Beach, but that was a tournament that St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos chose not to play on or play in.
Watch it.
Going to Dodd every time early.
Yes. Dodd, loop shot, out of bounds. So Dodd playing the unfamiliar left. He played on the right for 10 years. What is it like to make that change, Paul?
Very, very difficult. There are very few players who can play both sides equally well. I can't remember any. You saw Ron Von Hagen through the year switch back and forth from right to left, and he did it well.
But early in his career. Blocked by Steffes. 1-1 is our score. And Kong by Steffes. Nice play by Kent Steffes, getting way over the net.
That's about as far over the net as I've seen Kent Steffes get since I've been watching him play. He's got lots of talent, and the key to blocking the ball is getting way over. Does it nicely there to stuff Mike Dodd.
Hovland and Steffes, 2-1 lead over Dodd and Frohoff.
Should be pointed out that in the semifinals of the winners, Hovland and Steffes beat Frohoff and Dodd 15-2. So this is a team they've got a pretty good feeling against.
2-1 is our score. Semifinal action. Dodd right behind the immortal Ron Von Hagen, who's sitting in third place with 62 wins.
Take it easy. Come on. Straight up. Go line.
Hovland puts it straight down.
Ball control, not one of the best parts of Steffes and Hovland's game, but they're a perfect example of a good side out.
Show me that.
Steffes serving 22 years old.
Over, angle.
Dodd.
There we go.
And into the net. You can't touch the net at any time. That would have been a point, but Hovland touched the net. Frohoff and Dodd get the ball.
Come on, man, easy.
Hovland chasing.
Go line.
And a nice dig by Frohoff. Hovland again. Got it. Off the hands of Frohoff, out of bounds. So side out or possession to Hovland and Steffes.
Mike Dodd, one of the best defensive players, really had an advantage when he had a big blocker like Tim Hovland playing in front of him. But the problem with Frohoff and Dodd as a team is that neither one of them are great blockers. There's not that same advantage on that team.
Tim Hovland won his first professional tournament back in 1979. You can see what he did last year. 1979 won with Karch Karai in Hawaii. And they're checking on the net. A couple of players went into it early, and Jim Leonard talking to Rudy Papaco, who is what is Rudy's title?
It's the operations manager.
Right.
He makes sure that the courts are up and everything runs on time and that the banners are there. It really makes this whole atmosphere happen. The bleachers, you name it.
Dodd. And Dodd dinks it out of bounds. So far, Mike Dodd not hitting early, Paul. What do you make of that?
Well, he's got to challenge the block. If you're on an unfamiliar side and you're not in a good hitting rhythm, and Brent Frohoff, a good setter, you got to challenge the block. Right now, he's hit a couple of balls out, and he's really not making Hovland and Steffes do anything other than serve the ball to him.
3-1 is our score. Hovland serving his old partner, Dodd. Dink rejected. Kent Steffes hanging, and he swatted that ball down like a fly with a swatter.
I was wondering if Kent Steffes might be tired. Obviously not. Swatting for joy.
Timeout on the sand. Hovland and Steffes lead Dodd and Frohoff by 3 at the break.
Check to our house.
Good crowd on hand here at Fort Lauderdale. Spring break just about over. Kids going to be heading back to school, and what a shame, at least for the kids. 7-3 is our score. Tim Hovland in the pink cap. He and his partner Kent Steffes ahead by 4 and trying to get into the final against St. John Smith and Randy Stokos. Mike Dodd, who has gotten a lot of serves. Dodd is now 33 years old. Am I imagining, but Dodd looks a lot bigger to me as we look at the freestyle lapse time. 21 minutes, almost 22 minutes now, timing this particular game. But Mike Dodd looks much bigger upper body to me. I think he's been in the weight room.
Well, he had knee surgery in the off-season. Had some time on his hands, knew that he couldn't go out and play, so he hit the golf course in the morning and hit the weight room in the afternoon.
Shoulders and arms look a lot bigger. But so far, that really hasn't translated into wins. Mike Dodd, a man who's used to winning beach volleyball tournaments.
Well, Mike Dodd on the right is a player who can win a tournament. Mike Dodd on the left is a player who's going to finish 2nd through 5th.
So you don't think this team can win a tournament?
Not with him on the left. I really don't think so.
AAA rating at age 16. He got it with his brother Ted at Manhattan. I remember it well. The Dodd brothers, 2 little skinny guys playing out on the outer court, and everybody was buzzing. Because to make AAA in those days at that young age, that was the highest rating ever. It was like being a professional when there was no professional. Hovland, good shot by Hovland, off speed, and Hovland makes it work. Frohoff and Dodd, of course, have been in the losers bracket, so they have played many more games. And quite frankly, they look dead right now to me.
Well, this is just sort of their pace.
Well,
I mean,
maybe,
Mike's always been pretty quiet, and Frohe is kind of haggard around the edges. I've only played one more game, if I'm not mistaken, than Steffes and Hovland, so maybe it was a long game, certainly, but they should be fresh.
Dodd gets the kill. Check the stats for Mike Dodd. He has got 8 kills so far. His partner, Brent Frohoff, has 5. Steffes with only 2, and Hovland getting a lot of serves. Hov has 8.
Come on. Go.
Steffes.
Line.
Down the line he goes, working on his line shot. Steffes very good at that shot. Early in his career, he used to kind of loop it upward, but he mastered that. He's got a good power hit down the pipe. And you really only need 3 hits to get by the block, Paul.
Well, you need the cut shot, you need the crank, and you need the good loopy over the top. And this is a shot that he was, quite frankly, hitting out of bounds with regularity earlier last year. One of the reasons making too many errors that Karch dumped him, quite frankly, but he's much smoother now, playing with a lot more confidence.
Beautiful shot inside by Mike Dodd. Dodd, who played basketball at San Diego State, well-chronicled, a tremendous athlete.
Yeah, it's still as it was a while back, Chris, after the rain. The wind now starting to pick up a little bit. Could mean that we're headed for a little more
it has picked up a
precipitation.
lot. Gusty winds coming. Frohoff whipping, hard jumper.
Really gusting, even during this rally.
Steffes catches the line. Now,
right now, Chris, Frohoff and Dodd are on the good side. They're downwind. The ball changes direction a lot less downwind. Conversely, Hovland and Steffes on the bad side have to be careful with their ball control.
Tim Hovland set to put the ball in play. Tim is married. He has a baby girl, a beautiful baby girl, Tara, with wife Pam. Haven't seen Pam yet on the tour.
Well, they're expecting their second child, and coincidentally, her due date is the USA Championships, August 25th, Hermosa Beach.
And will Hov be with her at the hospital to deliver in place of the USA Championships?
No, well, Pam said,
no.
Look, if you're in the finals, stay at the beach.
We need the money. If you lose in the quarters, come a-running. 7-3 is our score. Hovland and Steffes lead.
God, that's so.
And another put away for Tim Hovland. Hovland, Frohoff, and Dodd play at Marine Street in Manhattan Beach. Marine Avenue, I should say.
Kent Steffes has been spending a lot of time down there as well, so he can get some games in with the Hov. John Stevenson plays there. Mike Whitmarsh, who had a very poor tournament this week. That's a team that we expect a lot from. Mike Whitmarsh, 6'8", had some good results last year. And John Stevenson, we've talked about for years, but they really struggled this week. I think they finished 17th or 13th, and a very forgettable experience to
I'm not
South
sure
Florida.
that team is going to last.
Well, it may not last past this weekend. They've just not gotten it together this year. Played pretty good in Hawaii, but not since then.
Great serve by Brent Frohoff, an ace into the corner. This is something that Hovland and Steffes had trouble with in the finals of the winners bracket. Stokelos aced 4 times. One on Steffes, a couple on Hovland, and one in the husband and wife area. And so the passing of Hovland and Steffes is not spectacular. Cut shot, nicely done.
Nice shot. Brent Frohoff broke very late, reading the line roll shot, breaking to cover behind the block. Nice read and cut by Kent Steffes.
Steffes had 4 cut shots in the Smith-Stoklos match, but he should use the shot more, Paul. It's wide open.
Well, watch Brent Frohoff. There, you see the break left, just right against left. Steffes with a good cut away from the defense.
What Steffes should do is use it about 5 or 6 times in a row and get him leaning. You don't see players do that.
He doesn't establish it. He had good success with it in the finals of the winners bracket. He used 4, as you mentioned, but none of those for side outs during that streak when they were struggling. He didn't use a cut shot from about 10 on.
A little tougher to use a shot that you're not comfortable with. 7-4 semifinal action here on Prime Network. Dodd serving.
Good deep serve.
Dug by Dodd. Chance for a point. Dodd against Hovland. Got it. So Mike Dodd making a nice defensive play, conserving his energy, and Dodd and Frohoff pulled within 2.
Boy, Mike made that play look so easy. You don't see the dig, but Mike Dodd in perfect position cross court, and again, just poking the ball around from the left side. Tight set. Ooh, that could have been a throw. That ball came out a little bit with a lot of spin. When we talk about a throw, we mean a double contact from the setter. Right, left. The ball's got to leave your hands simultaneously.
Wasn't Kent's best set, but it got by Jim Leonard. Remember seeing Jim Leonard call Kent Steffes twice for point game and point match in 2 different instances at 2 different beaches, 16-15, 16-15. And his partner Karch Garai went a little errors by Frohoff, but he's serving the jumper, so he's going to have a couple more errors, and so is Frohoff. There's a good serve, another ace.
Into the wind. The jump serve, heavy top spin. Frohoff, no fear of hitting it out, just rips it, and this one dives straight down as soon as it clears the tape.
And unfortunately for Steffes and Hovland, when the wind came up, they were on the lousy side. So Frohoff taking advantage, scoring points. 7-6 now. Frohoff trying to tie it up. Not yet. Steffes. And Steffes gets up fast enough to whack that down the middle.
Kent Steffes taking a lot of serves and a lot of court playing with Tim Hovland. That good deep jump serve up the middle. Kent Steffes got a lot of room to cover. It gets real lucky here. Brent Frohoff just kind of leaning over, saying he can't get to that one.
36 teams started off. We are down to 3. These 2 and St. John Smith and Randy Stoklos. Frohoff, and a nice play by Steffes. Chance for a point.
Important swing from the bad side.
Oh, and Steffes crushes one down the line. No one expected that, and the Fort Lauderdale crowd has suddenly become awake.
Well, they felt a tremor.
Yes. 8-6. Steffes by a couple. Hovland, third on the all-time money list.
Tight set again.
Frohoff. Hov can't get there. Hov so quick, but he was going to the right, and he couldn't quite pull back.
Broke on the cut shot to the corner from Brent Frohoff, but had the reaction and strength to come back, even though it was going away from his body. Almost made the play.
So M. Dodd. A couple of brothers that played volleyball. Ted played on the national team back in 1976, and for Pepperdine, Mike for San Diego State, also on the national team.
Tight set.
Hovland over the top. It's a pretty good matchup for Hovland because he hits a lot of high stuff, a lot of cuff stuff that Frohoff can't quite get up to.
And if he hits that against Mike Dodd, I think it's a stuff or a deflection that Frohoff can run down.
Steffes. He's already won with 3 different partners, which is quite an accomplishment. Verbalovich, Karch, and Hovland. Defensive play, chance to go over 9-6. Yes!
Steffes transitioning very, very well from his offside the left after the good defensive play.
He made the defensive play. Hovland gave him the set, and we switch at 9-6. Semifinal action on Prime Network. Back to Fort Lauderdale after this. Welcome back. Chris Marlowe, Paul Sunderland, the Miller Lite Fort Lauderdale Open. Semifinal action, Mike Dodd, Brent Frohoff, Tim Hovland, and Kent Steffes. And lots of activity as spring break comes to a close in Florida. Perhaps the locals a little sick of the party animals that come down here. They're glad to see spring break end. 14-6 is our score. Hovland and Steffes have dominated this match.
Frohoff and Dodd, Chris, with 6 unforced errors. Just hitting the ball out of bounds, making mistakes. You take those away, and this is a lot closer, obviously.
Steffes. This is game point. Frohoff sneaks it through.
Spike by Brent Frohoff off the block of Tim Hovland.
So Frohoff and Dodd last week, I believe they got a 4th, Paul, and this week it appears they're going to finish in 3rd. So it's a team that's been improving at least.
Well, but like I said, I think with Mike Dodd on the right, they're a team that can win. With Mike Dodd on the left, with a top partner, you know, they're 3rd through 7th, I think.
Come on, here we go.
Steffes against Dodd. And down the line, it's out of bounds. So Steffes going high and over, but Dodd presents some more problems blocking up there. 14-7. Could Frohoff and Dodd make a run now? Yes. If the wind comes up just a bit, Frohoff got the excellent jumper.
They'd need some real help because even if the wind came up a gust, they're still going to change sides at 14-11. Bad set.
And this could... Oh! Nice play by Dodd. And Steffes with the left-hand crankola.
Great hustle by Mike Dodd, and Brent Frohoff could not get back up to challenge the pokey from Kent Steffes because his partner was lying right underneath him. Watch Dodd go down right here. Now, Frohe can't get back up to challenge Kent Steffes because he would have had to stomp all over his partner. Maybe he should have.
Second game point for Hov and Steffes. They'll try Dodd. Fake block. Dug out of bounds. Steffes trying to retreat and use the alligator dig with the hands. Could not make it up. So Dodd, who has turned around his hat, and he looks like he's in jump serve posture. Here it comes. Steffes way back, but Steffes able to negotiate.
That's the time to fake block. Brent's been fake blocking on some balls that are set right on top of the net. That one's 7-8 feet back. That one leave because the hitter has got to look backwards for the ball, loses track of the defense.
Third game point, Hovland and Steffes. Dodd against Hovland, and Steffes has it. This could be it. Should be it. It is. And Kent Steffes,
Ladies and gentlemen, how about
Tim
that round
Hovland
of applause for our third place
take care of
finishers.
Brent Frohoff and Mike Dodd 15-7.
Mike Dodd. And how about a nice round of
So our
applause for
semifinal is over. Our only
Hovland
question remains, do Hovland and Steffes have enough to challenge Smith and Stokes? We'll find out when we come back.